the question is, I'm struggling with holding grudges within marriage, and it's impacting my communication with my spouse. Now, I heard this, and I kind of noticed kind of this attitude of rancor, that building resentment. Does that hit a lot on the spiritual dimension as well as the interpersonal?
Yes, it does. And so there's really nothing as deadly in relationships, whether it's a marital relationship or any significant relationship, maybe even between family members, as resentment. Resentment, it's very, very difficult to deal with because it requires some vulnerability about getting honest about what it is about the other person that is upsetting to me. And it takes some honesty and some vulnerability for that other person to hear what I want to say. It's very difficult. But these are those difficult conversations that have to be had. The old saying that the argument about the cap being left off the toothpaste, it's not about the cap being left off the toothpaste. There's months or years of anger and resentment that kind of go behind that. So resentment, it has to be dealt with, and it does require honesty on both people's parts. The one who feels that they need to be honest in telling what's upsetting to them, and honesty and vulnerability for that other person who's listening to receive it. Now, I've been around the block a couple of times. I do know that the truth is somewhere in the middle. So I'm not taking sides when I listen to partners. Each one has their version of the truth, and the truth lives somewhere in the middle regarding whatever it is that they are being angry and resentful about. But when we have these discussions, we have to remain open and vulnerable and receptive to the best of our ability. If we're going to have a difficult conversation, I usually encourage couples pray, ask the Holy Spirit to come in. I also encourage couples face each other, sit down, face each other.
Listen up, men.
Face each other eye to eye, knee to knee, and hold hands. It's very hard to really get nasty, name-calling, really down dirty, argumentative when you're looking your beloved in the eye, you have physical contact with them, and you're holding hands.
Okay, sister,
it's
but
just
here,
a way to help.
Right. Okay, I'm going to push back because I hear everyone saying, okay, but when I'm really upset with my spouse, the last thing I want to do is sing Kumbaya, touch knees, and hold each other's hands and make eye contact, especially for the men. I think the women could maybe go for this a little bit more. I'm generalizing. What would you say? And we'll come back on this, actually. We'll come back at, what do you do when you don't want that physical contact, the eye-to-eye contact. Sister Tina will be here with us taking more questions on overcoming those bad habits of both spiritually and not necessarily spiritually, but just that are impacting your marriage and preventing growth. We'll be right back. Just moments ago, we were talking about those moments where resentment and nitpicking is building within marriage, and we'll get to that a little bit more. But Sister Tina, you were talking about in those difficult moments, getting face-to-face, holding hands as spouses, going knee to knee, and making eye contact. And I said, Sister, I know everyone's sitting here saying, I don't want to do that when I'm angry. Help walk us through that.
Certainly. So if people are very heated, of course, we might need to take a time out, either before we can have that talk, holding hands, eye to eye, knee to knee, and holding hands. So it's okay. I call it an adult timeout. We're used to toddler timeouts, but adults need timeouts as well. So an adult timeout is, hey, I'm really upset. I can't think straight right now. I need a break. I'm going to go away for 10 minutes. Either I'm going to go upstairs and have some quiet time. I'm going to go outside on the porch. I'm going to be gone for 10 or 15 minutes, take a walk around the block, and then I'll come back. So there's some elements to this. Getting away, Okay? So it's okay. Get some physical distance. If somebody calls for an adult timeout, they deserve it. They need that time. They're asking for, hey, I just can't do this right now. I'm at my limit. So ask for an adult timeout. It should be honored. Timeouts can be about maybe no more than an hour at the most. I think most people are able to calm themselves down within the space of an hour. During that time, they go take a walk around the block, they go upstairs, maybe take a shower, they go outside on their porch, have a glass of lemonade, sweet tea, their whatever it is that they want to have. But then when that time is over, they come back. So they have to have the conversation. They might need to do this 2 or 3 times. They might need to take several adult time outs. But what I find is one of the leading contributors to building resentments and building anger is unresolved issues. And unresolved issues happen when one or both people in the coupleship, the marriage, they get angry, they get upset, they take a break to cool down, and then they never, ever, ever, ever come to any kind of resolution about what the disagreement was about. And they keep arguing about the same thing over and over and over again because they never get to a resolution.
So it sounds in that state, if you find yourself always arguing, never finding a resolution, there's something deeper going on. And that would be a sign, it sounds like, for a therapist to step in.
Correct. So it's time for some professional help. If you can never get to a resolution to a problem, if when you're arguing, the arguments don't become productive, arguments are great. Okay? And safe arguments are fantastic. No shaming, no blaming, no name calling, no yelling, no screaming. If you're having unproductive arguments, threats, name calling, physical harm being threatened, dishes flying, yelling, screaming, things of that nature, and never getting to a resolution, you need professional help. You probably needed it several months ago. What I find is many couples, unfortunately, just wait until they are at that level before they decide to go get help.